Jared Polin, FroKnowsPhoto.com, and this is a new series called 30 for 30, where I do 30 rapid-fire critiques in 30 days, 15 Adorama picks, and 15 Squarespace rapid-fire critiques. If you want to see all of the rapid-fire critiques in one place, go ahead, click up on the screen right now. We'll take you over to the website to do that, but let's get into a critique. As a part of the 30 for 30, 30 critiques in 30 days, this is another Adorama Picks rapid fire critique. And before we jump into Derek Spencer's photos, if you haven't made any prints as of late, or you're looking to make aluminized metal prints, which I absolutely love, go ahead and use code PXMETFRO30 until September 30th of 2015 to get 30% off your entire order. Look, if you're looking to sell some prints, you can make an extra 30% profit or give a discount to the people and make it seem like you're doing them a favor, but you already saved 30%, so you have a little room in there to do them something good. So let's get to these critique and take a look at what we have right here. Nikon D7000, 35mm f1.8. Love that little lens. We got Derek Spencer. This one's called Fallout. So this is interesting. It's kind of interesting at the top. No, I'm taking it back. I love the composition, and I like the thought behind it. What I absolutely cannot like in images like this is the fact that they pulled the color out of everything and just left the ground the way that it is. Either go full black and white or leave it in color and go with that. With images, when you try too hard to be quote unquote creative or to make an image something that it's not, it starts to look bad. It just seems like it's trying too hard to be something that it's not. In this case, you started with a very good image. Either pump it up and keep the color or go black and white and go from there. But it was a good shot until you devoided it. So f2.8, 4000 ISO, 70mm, 1/800th of a second. All right, so the D7000 does have grain. The way that you can get rid of the noise in this image is to not bump your exposure as much as you did here in the post-processing. I love the fact that it's, this had to be a tough situation to shoot in because look at the fog. But if you pump your contrast here, it's going to do away with this type of thing. And if it's cropped at all, you're going to get even more grain. I can't tell if it's cropped. I'm going to say that it's not because it's 70mm. They probably were pretty close to you when you were shooting with the 70-200 2.8. But you need to pump up the contrast. It's going to hide away a lot of that noise. If you're going to get a shot like this, you have to be very careful to get your angles straight. I love how everything's almost even from left to right. You just have to make sure that you've got more white area over here than you have over here, and that is a big deal. It isn't directly in the middle, and it's going to make me throw up. Wow. Not throw up in a, oh my God. It's actually painful to look at. Just because it's, I don't know what's wrong with me, but because it's slightly off, it's throwing off my brain. If you're going to do this, even left to right, top to bottom, and get your line straight. Oh, I got to keep moving. But the exposure is good. This is good as well. I love the fact that we've got the light coming in. We're void or whatever the word is, of all tones in here, but we've got the light coming from out here, shining in on this person down at the bottom, making you wonder, why is he in a hole? Zion is what it says. Love this photo, one of the best ones I've seen in the set so far. Good determination on the face, east view, 70-200 at 70mm again. I think you're really close for sports shooting. Either that or you're cropping highly, but I don't think you're cropping, because if you were cropping with the D7000, he would not look as good as he does right here. Back it up, back the train up, zoom in with a 70-200, but this is a very nice shot, good timing, nice color, nice look on the guy's face. It works very well, but back that thing up. This I like. Why do I like it? The juxtaposition of the wingspan and this span. It kind of looks like these are plane wings that are juxtaposing or mirroring what's going on there. The lines are pretty darn straight. I would pump the contrast a little more to get rid of some of that gray, and then it would be much better. But it's a really good shot. Really like it. Oh boy. For some reason, this is making me feel less like I want to throw up because I still needed to feel like I wanted to throw up from that other image, but this is just killing me. This lens flare is absolutely atrocious. I know some people like using lens flare for a creative thing, but this absolutely doesn't work. One, it's not that good of a framing or a composition, but no, that lens flare is killing me. No, don't do it, please. Oh no, here we go again. So it's a nice idea, and I like that, are these Jordans, and I like the red, but it's so passé to pull the color out of everything and leave it in that. Work with the image that you have, and I think you could have a nice image. Now, I get it with this. You're making, if this was an advertisement, maybe it sells. Maybe it sells because of the red and the Jordans and everything along those lines. But the background, oh, well, we do have the basketball court, so yay, that's a good thing. But it does look like we've got this stick pole coming out of the foot. Now I'm just nitpicking, by the way. That's what you do with a critique, is you just look for things that stand out. Overall, I like the image. Watch out for this foot thing. It looks like we got a merger, like this is holding him up into the air, or her, or whoever's doing this, but I'm not a big fan of pulling the color out. But other than that, it's pretty good. 86 millimeters. So this is all right. It's just so awkward. Look at how this guy's kicking. I find that to be awfully weird. Not your fault, just awfully weird. Very noisy at, what are we at, 5,000. That's about the limit, 5,000, 6,000 for this camera. A little more contrast, like I said before, would hide away some of that grain. And this is the last shot here. Doesn't really fit the set, but it works. I like the tones on the face. I like the muted color that you went with here. Black and white could possibly work as well, but I like how the background is blown out. You shot at 1.8, which is difficult to shoot at 1.8, but when you're straight on at 1.8, you have an easier time of getting everything that you want in focus. It's when you start shooting from the side at 1.8 that it's so narrow and shallow that you have more trouble getting a better shot. This is spot on. So there's some really nice stuff that you're doing here, Derek. There's some shots that I do like. Oops, I clicked on the wrong thing. Back to the, no, I don't want to go back to photo stream. Whatever, we're gonna leave it at that. So I think you've done some nice job here with some nice shots. Really like the airplane one. That one resonated well with me. And like I said, that other one has to be even, or it's going to make people throw up like me. Or maybe I'm just sick. I don't know. So that is where we'll leave it. That's another Adorama Picks Rapid Fire Critique, part of my 30 for 30. And if you haven't tried aluminum prints, go ahead and use this code at adoramapicks.com to get 30% off your next order of aluminized prints until September 30th, 2015. That's off your entire order of only the metal prints. Save some money, get some prints made, hang them on the wall. Jared Polin, FronosPhoto.com. See ya. To check out all the videos from this 30 for 30 series, go ahead and click up on the screen right now. It's going to take you over to the post over on FronosPhoto.com, where you can see all 30 posts once they are live.